Yesterday's conspiracy theories, tomorrow's headlines. Most are still asleep and I ain't talking about no bedtime. The truth is not a Google search, you need to get your head right. The Greek goddess of illusion was called Media, and I'm not a coincidence theorist, I look for thread lines. Smashing every deadline, no longer smashing red wine. Though I can hear the bells chime, it feels like the end times. That probably should have been smashed on red wine, but the carnal mind is foolish. Obey and end up ghoulish. Don't get used by instinct, take control and learn to use it. Make a load of earnest music, earn a few quid, learn a few tricks. Sure, the truth is persecuted, this whole world is pure abusive. Know a bit about everything and everything about nothing. Figured out my noggin while you picture out shopping. You sit about watching while I dish it out, stop it. I don't mean to sound cocky, I'm not even proud of it. It's a second itch to me, just to be this out honest. I don't even need to sound honest, never been about profit. Everything but out on it, you can bet your house on it. Doubt I'll be out for the count when the sounds, and I'm down for the beat, no beat down. I mean, how long's it been? Help me out. I've been the only one who's held me down. All in the mind, hell freeze now. Still sick with it, healthy how? Few bars down and the world freaked out. I don't reach out, I seek out to speak out. I'ma recount the reasons they beat out.
Hello. Welcome everybody to the 509 Divine Pines podcast. Thank you guys for being here. It is another episode. Man, time is flying by fast. August 4th, 2026. Things are going insane. Remember, like earlier this year, I just had a feeling that there was going to be some devastation. And I didn't say, but I felt like it was gonna be in my state. I just had a creeping feeling that here in Washington State, because of our politics and because of the way that we are not really agreeing with what the agenda is here in our state, it seems like well, we're a target here in Washington State, that we think for ourselves, we do for ourselves. We don't want ICE around. We don't want any of the evil toxic agendas around. So we all are kind of on the same page. It's not about whether we're left or right. A lot of us are Mexican out here. A lot of us are minority, and we understand that it's like elite, rich versus poor, Satanists versus godly people. That's kind of the way it is out here in Washington State, where we sense this higher power, and we're pretty based and balanced. We got a lot of cattle, we got a lot of agriculture, berries, fishing, mountains, hiking. This is a very active and healthy state, and it's good for the mind too, the brain, as far as we have all of the mushrooms, we have the weed, we have the pine trees. We have a lot of fresh air, high mountainous air, clean oxygen. It's all the fresh food and fresh fish and fresh animals. It's good for our brain. And so it's a very healthy state here in Washington State. And although we think healthy, we know that our government doesn't. And they're doing whatever they can to keep us down. These fires are bad. But you know what? We'll pick you right back up. I was gonna say a bad word, but I'm trying to hold myself back. C60, the world's best antioxidant. If you guys are feeling laggy throughout this smoke and you want the energy I'm on, the good, clean, high energy, if you don't want to be all lethargic and smoked out, and like for all the stoners out there who seem to have a problem with getting high energy after you smoke, if you want to be like me, who smokes a lot and still has high energy, go over to shopc60.com. I'm literally telling you right now, you can take a dab and you can take a C60 and you will be on cloud 999. You will be feeling conscious, clear, and really high, but you will be feeling focused and energized because of the C60, the antioxidant. It is very powerful. It is clean energy. They have all sorts of different versions: avocado oil, coconut oil, virgin olive oil. They have the sugar-free tart cherry C60 gummies, and you have the sugar-filled. Well, it's not really filled with sugar, but they have the sugar tart cherry C60 gummies. They have cinnamon flavored C60 in coconut oil for the morning coffees. You got anti-gravity serum for your face, youth renewal eye cream if you want your eyes to be looking a little younger, edible massage oil for you and your partner, C60 skin oil for pretty much like your face, wherever you would want a glow up and your skin to look healthier and younger. You could also get C60 for your pets with avocado oil, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil for your pets. They come in sampler kits, go-to kits, all sorts of different bundles that will help you get back on your feet. And I mean it, C60 is one of the best products I've ever tried. And this isn't just me promoting it, because I tried it before. I was using it for years before I even contacted these guys about this. I vouch for it. Like, this is one of the products that I personally enjoy for my health and well-being. This isn't something I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm only gonna tell my homies. Like, this is a product that I actually want everybody to be able to enjoy, where your grandma, your pets, the people that you care about and want to see thrive, that you want to have a little more energy for, like let's just say, all you parents out there, I don't have time for my kids because I don't got the energy. I'm tired. Slap yourself and take some C60. Use coupon code 509 Divine Pines and thank me later. You guys will get a nice discount, because inflation out there is trash. Like, we got all this price hiking. It's trash. But C60 is not. The discount code that I got is not. We got it. You want it. Thank me later. All right, guys, check this out. I'm about to blow your mind, literally. This isn't Russia. We see this Russian soldier on the bottom. These are kids. Well, you're not going to be able to understand what they say. But these kids are nagging the soldier. They're like, yo, yeah, you are.
Так кидаем или нет? Нет. Да? Нет, не надо. Кидай ничего. Иди выдергивай. Ну выдерни, а я брошу. Выдергивай кольцо.
He has a grenade in his hand.
Ты что, блядь, ебанутый, сука, блядь!
Savage! Making the alarms go off and everything, bro. I love this. Is sick. Hey, that's how Russians are, though. They don't give a damn. They'll fucking blow shit up. And they'll stand on business. He's still just sitting there. He's still just sitting there chilling, having a good old time. Because, well, why? Because he don't care. Hey, man, manly men do manly things. Let's just, say it like that, man. We knew everybody was safe. He wasn't causing any harm. He wasn't causing any danger to anybody. We're going to go forward, though. Check this out. This is good little touch up by this I forgot who is doing these videos, but these are the Lego AI raps. This is a new one.
Hey, your empire is done. Done. You started the war, you thought you would win. Now look at the mess that your country is in. Look at it. Your general's crying, your plan was a bust. The promises made are now turning to dust. Marco Rubio was sweating, he's grilled on the floor. They asked for the billions you wasted on war. You lied from day one, you keep capping a lot. But look at the street, yeah, we got it on lock. Lockdown. You're begging for mercy, you're begging for peace, while telling your media Iran wants to cease. You sure? You're losing the straight, you're losing the state, and now the whole public is drowning in hate. You told stop talking about Epstein. Now listen to the crowd.
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
Louder.
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
Don't stop talking about
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
louder.
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
You lied about Iran, said Navy is gone. You promised regime change from darkness to dawn. You're dreaming, your beautiful B2s were flying so high, still shaking inside. You're about to cry. You stood on the stage, looking completely detached, saying, I don't care about voters as cash. Did he really say that? Yeah, he did. You care about ballrooms, luxury suites, while American families starve on the streets. Inflation is peaking, the economy's dead, but you worry about Israel instead. The corruption is deep, AIPAC's buying the state. Every politician's got a price on their plate. You're all just puppets dancing for funds, while Iran is standing and holding the guns. You're losing the straight, you're losing the state, and now the whole public is drowning in hate. You told, stop talking about Epstein. Now listen to the crowd.
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
Louder!
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
Don't stop talking about
Epstein,
Yo, that's actually a pretty sick song. Let's rewind it.
Your empire is
Fuck Trump.
You started the war, you thought you would win. Now look at the mess that your country is in. Look at it. Your generals crying, your plan was a bust. The promises made are now turning to dust. Marco Rubio was sweating, he's grilled on the floor. They asked for the billions you wasted on war. You lied from day one, you keep capping a lot. But look at the straight, yeah, we got it on lock. Locked down. You're begging for mercy, you're begging for peace, while telling your media Iran wants to cease. You sure? You're losing the straight, you're losing the state, and now the whole public is drowning in hate. You told, stop talking about Epstein. Now listen to the crowd.
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
Louder!
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
Don't stop talking about
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
louder!
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
You lied about Iran, said Navy is gone. You promised regime change from darkness to dawn. You're dreaming, your beautiful B2s were flying so high, still shaking inside. You're about to cry. You stood on the stage, looking completely detached, saying, I don't care about voters as cash. Did he really say that? Yeah, he did. You care about ballrooms, luxury suites, while American families starve on the streets. Inflation is peaking, the economy's dead, but you worry about Israel instead. The corruption is deep, AIPAC's buying the state. Every politician's got a price on their plate. You're all just puppets dancing for funds, while Iran's standing and holding the guns. You're losing the straight, you're losing the state, and now the whole public is drowning in hate. You told, stop talking about Epstein. Now listen to the crowd.
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
Louder!
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
Don't stop talking about
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
louder!
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
You called yourself a king, but you're just a BJ queen. The biggest disaster the White House has seen. Your empire is done, 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 done.
Epstein, Epstein, Epstein.
The war is lost.
Epstein.
You go fix your ballroom.
The fire is done. Potato done.
Man, that video is fire. I'm not gonna lie, those Lego rap videos are really on point. Like, they just got everything right. They got the vibes, they got the lyrics, they got all the cool animations, and it's nothing to be mad at because it's all real. Like, you see what's happening, and we all see what's happening now with Fauci going like, I plead the fifth like 100 times. At least people are waking up. And daily marijuana has now surpassed alcohol and cigarettes in America. Congratulations, America. You guys have fucking did it. We have done it. We have curbed this sin. And I don't mean like tobacco itself is a sin, but the Marlboros, the Camels, the poisons, them poisons. You don't be consuming them actual literal chemical additions onto something that is very natural. You don't need all these different chemicals in alcohol. You don't need these fake flavors, these fake dyes, these fake sugars, these fake products in alcohol, but you're still drinking it, consuming it. Not anymore, right? We're smoking. We're on that natural green. No wonder it feels like America is like slowly, as a community, on the human level, we're all like healing. We know that Fauci's a liar. We know that Trump's a liar. We know that everything that we've been taught over the last 5 to 10 years has been a lie. Everything that we've been told, don't worry about, that's a conspiracy. Don't fuck. And it's all it's all not what it's set out to be by the big mainstream. The draft is up. So last year the draft was proposed and passed, and so middle-aged men, I think middle-aged women probably too. Be prepared. Prepare Uranus for the draft, and prepare Uranus for Israel when you go over there and fight spirits of the dead. You know, from these fucking bombed out villages. It's gonna be crazy for all you youngins who were like so woke for a minute, and now hey, reality's hitting. You're gonna get drafted. Hope you fucking prepared, like mentally, physically, spiritually. Get some muscle on you, get some endurance, some cardio. Learn how to use a gun. It's all being scripted. It's like some agenda. Part of the agenda right here. This is that clip from Joe Rogan earlier,
And then
where Joe Rogan's guest, I believe his name's Forrest Galante. He talks about what they did over in Africa. So the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
he developed the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and
Yeah.
they were really concerned with global health.
Oh my God. Dude, do you know what they did fucking in the Cabora Bassa Delta with their mosquito nets? Why would you? But do you know what I'm talking about at all?
Oh, what'd they do?
Dude, I'm going to go on a fucking tirade
Please
here.
do.
Okay. So the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation decided that there was too much malaria in Africa, right? Which you and I could probably agree with. Malaria is bad. So what did they do? They gave all of these people living in tribal villages. I've totally pirated your thing. I'm sorry, but I'm going to go on a fucking rant here. They gave all these people living in the Cabora Bassa Delta, which is the breadbasket of the Zambezi Valley, meaning like where more fish are born. It's a nursery for fish, right? Not just there, but this is a good micro example. They gave millions of mosquito nets out to all these people to avoid malaria. Guess what the people who are starving to death did with their mosquito nets?
They fished with them.
They fished with them. Mosquito net has a hole that is so small that a mosquito can't get through. So guess what? These mosquito nets now indiscriminately catch tiny baby fish in areas like Cabora Bassa, where the fish go to breed and reproduce and populate. So now all of a sudden you have thousands and thousands of people that have been handed nets that have been living one way for hundreds of thousands of years. They don't give a shit about malaria. They have their own way of dealing with malaria. They sit in smoky huts at night. They sleep with a campfire, everything else. Yes, they still get malaria, some of them, but they deal with it their own way. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation come in, hand out millions of mosquito nets, absolutely collapse the entire population of fish that feed millions of people, because these people just take the nets and fish all the baby fish out so that those fish don't grow up to make substantial protein sources. So now these wonderful philanthropists that have given out millions of nets have destroyed an ecosystem, crashed a fish population, and created widespread hunger for people that otherwise had plenty of resources. All because they were trying to help with their mosquito nets.
Oh, God.
It's just like, it's a fucking disaster, dude. They've taken such a rich and important part of Africa, one of the most abundant freshwater fisheries in the world, and destroyed it because they're helping by handing out mosquito nets.
Good God.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I told you I'd go on a rant, but it's like it's so bad what's happened over there. And they're still giving out mosquito nets, by the way. And you literally watch these guys line up, take a mosquito net, and it never goes in their house. It goes straight to catching fish that are this big for them to eat.
Oh, God.
Man. You know what I also saw with these mosquito nets? This is a real clip that I saw and from the same area. So they actually have such a bad mosquito problem that they're finding ways to eat them. So they'll use these mosquito nets. They'll catch mosquitoes. And I'm not too sure how, but they trap them in like a jar or like a basin or a vase or something. And they squish them. And they squish a lot of them. Hundreds, if not thousands of them into patties, burger patties. And then they cook them. Or sometimes just eat them raw. So they're like bug patties. It's fucking insane. It is by far, that was one of the most insane clips I've ever seen as far as like eating something alive or like fresh that you caught, they're catching mosquitoes. It's kind of unreal. You know what else is unreal? Dr. Shithead Fauci.
The Constitution. Dr. Fauci, did the CIA ever transfer funds to NIH under an interagency agreement? On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Oh, the fifth? You mean like you said you plead the fifth 110 times. Here, check this out.
What day of the week is it today?
111, my bad.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based
He's
upon
getting
my rights
embarrassed.
under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people.
We're going to get into this right here.
During the time of the COVID pandemic, you were called a racist for calling the virus a Wuhan virus or the China virus. If you thought the 6-foot rule was total crap, if you thought the vaccine wasn't something that you should take, if you thought it was outrageous the way the mask policy was rolled out, if you were fired from your job for not taking that vaccine, including members of the military, if you thought closing schools was catastrophically stupid, and that you thought during these times saying these things made you somehow a lesser human being. Dr. Fauci, can you just turn around and look at the people behind you? You're not willing to do that? That's not a question. It's not a question. To your lawyers, it's not a question. It's a request. All you have to do is look up from your lawyers and look at the people who were absolutely shamed for saying what we know now to be the truth. You can't even look at them? Years ago today that I decided I'm going to give up my businesses, sell them all, run for office, run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the fuck do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country.
It's definitely a damn disgrace because it was a fucking murder weapon. It was used, COVID, the vaccine, the lockdowns, the regulations. It was used as a murder weapon, and it was used as a scheme to get the people who were in debt rich and out of debt.
But what we find is that what he was saying in public is different than what he was saying in private. In January, in private, he wrote that looks like the wet market was a super spreader event. It didn't originate there. We know that some of the earliest deaths and sickness came from somewhere else. But then for years and years, we got dishonesty. So let's play the video so we can see a little juxtaposition of the problem we were dealing with.
Wild are being brought into wet markets. So there are animals that come out of the wild that are sold, like these open, what they call them wet markets. Wet markets, where you bring animals in from the wild who have these viruses. The wet markets in Asia, where people bring animals from the forest into market, there are wet markets in Wuhan that are ample opportunity for a virus to jump from an animal. The origin was from a bat to an intermediate opposed to a human, very likely in a wet market, and those animals should not have been in the Wuhan market. They knew that those animals should.
So he knew that the virus didn't even come from there. And like, well, let's just say like it didn't come from it's just a bat wet market. You know, it was lab engineered, and that's kind of the big deal where they engineered this.
Can you do me a favor in the audience and
into a weapon in a sense. And if you don't believe me, listen to this. This is more.
Hair in the mind. NIH funded putting aborted babies' fingers and scalps off the heads of aborted babies and putting them into the backs of research mice. The scalps later grew fine baby hair in the mice. They even included those disgusting photos in their research paper that you funded. Not all of those were research on coronaviruses, but some were. Thankfully, the current NIH director has said, no more of this. Dr. Fauci, yes or no? Do you think that human aborted parts should be put into mice for coronavirus research?
The advice of counsel, I
Oh my
respectfully
God.
decline to answer
I plead
based
the
upon
fifth.
my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the
Fuck you,
Constitution.
Fauci.
NIH funded putting aborted babies.
So you heard that right. This is not the first time that bullshit like this has happened. Back in the 80s, Fauci was doing very similar things, pretty horrible testing, and just getting away with it because he has some, I don't know, powerful connections, you know? Pretty much he's a piece of shit. Fauci is a fucking demonic piece of shit. Here, yeah, so is his attorney.
You're not recognized. Proceeding. You are not recognized, and you are not recognized, sir. Sir, you are not recognized. You are not recognized. Security. We'll hold off, but you will respect these proceedings. You were told not to sit at the table. You insist on sitting at the table, and we told you you would not be recognized. You are not invited here for testimony, sir. You are being disruptive. Would you behave this way in a courtroom? No, because the judge would put you in jail. I can't do that today, but I can have you escorted from the premises. So I would say, sir, sit quietly and don't say another word. I said, sit quietly. You are not recognized. Another word and you're gone.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to hear what the attorney has to say.
He is not recognized by the committee or the chair. If he speaks again, he will be removed from the room. This testimony is from Anthony Fauci. This is not a game with his lawyers. He can advise, his lawyers can give him advice. He's got a half dozen here. They're all allowed to talk to him.
Yes.
All right? But the attorneys are not recognized. In fact, the attorney was told not to sit at the table, and he's not obeying that recommendation. There's a row behind you, sir. That's where you were told to sit, and you're not. And now you're disrupting the proceedings. And so, look, this is the way Anthony Fauci wants to be remembered. For a lawyer not listening to the rules. That's the way you want to be remembered, and that's what you're going to do. You are not recognized, sir. Security, please remove him from the room.
Yeah, get your bitch ass out of there, punk ass bitch. Thought he had some power just because he had some Freemason buddies or some occult buddies. Look, I'm a fucking touchable. That even though I was told not to sit here, I'm gonna fucking sit here because, well, I'm in the fucking Illuminati, you bitch. Like, get the fuck out of it. Get real. Like nobody cares about this. Your fucking secret societies. Nobody cares about your fucking occults, your Freemasons. Nobody cares about your fucking satanic bullshit no more. We all fucking see it. We all don't like it. There's a fucking reason these fucking piece of shit. Uh, there's a reason that there's these piece of shits have friends who are banned in like 110 countries and banned from. Yeah, they're all part of the same little satanic little fucking kabbalistic bullshit circles, Zionist circles, and they're all part of their fucking same game, right? That's why you see Bill Gates and Peter Thiel and Fauci and all these dudes, Donald Trump, all these dudes, they have the same friends and they owe a lot to those friends, right? They're Jewish friends or they're satanic friends or whatever way you can call it. It's clearly obvious it's the same people, and the Bible says so too. We're gonna go forward. Let's see right here. There's a clip of from Forrest Galante and Joe Rogan where they talk about pandas and the possibility of pandas being an engineer, like engineer species. Well, we know one thing for sure, 100% that COVID was manufactured and
Early on, that
engineered.
became like a,
It was manufactured
it's not
and
about
engineered to go against us. Here's
how much more your regrets, but I have one. And that is early on that there was the theory that the virus could have emerged from the lab. And early on, that became like a right-wing kinds of theory. And I thought it seemed to make sense. Now, there was a really advanced lab that was close by, and then you have this unknown virus out. So, but that became a very partisan thing. And now it seems now it's more and more emerging theory that that would have come from the lab. Now, I think that the next time our nation's facing something like this, we are not become, as I might have been, blinded by the partisan idea that maybe the truth might come from a side that's different than you are. But I think we should really be willing to pursue truth, no matter where that may have emerged, after.
See, the problem with America currently is that a lot of people put their fucking hands in, oh, he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, he's a scientist, he has a certificate and went to a fucking university. Bullshit. Look, man, there's a lot of people in the streets who are absolutely smart. There's a lot of people out here who are fucking extremely intelligent that don't need college or university to tell you the truth. And just for the fucking reference, this is fucked up, but people in the medical industry and some of these lawyer firms and some of these collegiate academies of arts and sciences and literature and history and medicine and these Ivy Leaguers or even college professors, they're restricted and banned and barred from telling the truth. There's actually shit like stipulations within the legal contracts and within their documentation to get where they're at that restricts them. And there's the money funders that restrict them from talking. So like Fauci can't talk the truth, but we don't need them anymore. We don't need any of that, like, oh, certificate or nothing, right? That's all out the window, and it's pretty trash. Because I know a lot of people who graduated from college and they ain't shit. They don't know shit. Like, they're really kind of dumb still. We're gonna go forward, guys. It's being uncovered from Rand Paul that Bill Gates had Q clearance, one of the nation's top security clearance from the president, from the White House, from wherever. Bill Gates had this clearance from 2014 to 2021. PSA just got hit with a massive class action lawsuit claiming its entire multi-billion-dollar grading empire started with a known fraud. Its first ever card they graded was a fraud. It wasn't real. Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad. Too much fake stuff going on.
The President Biden granted him complete immunity. Do you still need Fifth Amendment protection, or do they apply? So, and telling that all he had to do today was tell the truth.
Oh,
if he testified and told the truth, even if he admitted to destroying thousands of records, which we think happened, there's no penalty that attaches. It would just be the truth.
How do you respond to his comments that you have an unhinged obsession with him?
I think if you look at all of the questions that were asked, they're all very, very serious questions. One of the questions, was about the particular type of furin cleavage site, that its codons were CGG. This was actually seen by Nobel laureate David Baltimore. I don't know what his political partisanship is, but a famous microbiologist or molecular chemist who said that was the smoking gun that made him think that it came from the lab. All of these were scientific questions. There were some questions about, being him entertaining at prizes and awards, but that's a legitimate oversight question. If he was using government employees to apply for $1 million award, I think that's a legitimate question. I heard very few questions today that I would say were unhinged or politically motivated. I don't think any of the questions that I put forward, they were on destroying records and whether or not the research in Wuhan was dangerous of gain of function. He said, but it didn't meet the exact definition. I think the American people want to know, was it dangerous research and should it have been funded? And that gets away from a semantics argument. And I think we could have gone there. Look, for the first year of this pandemic, from 2020 all the way into the summer of 2021, I didn't really pay much attention to Anthony Fauci other than his prescriptions about masks and things like that. But as far as the origins, I didn't really get interested in it until I read an article by Nicholas Wade in, I think, the spring of 2021. That's when I became intrigued that, wow, we could have been funding this. So I was completely neutral on Anthony Fauci until we began asking questions, but until we began seeing the revealed emails that what they say in private was different than in public. In private, he said, wasn't the wet market. In public, he said for 5 years it was the wet market.
Yeah, man. Rand Paul is a real one. Hey, dude, this is some fucking. I don't want to say too much, but so this is the retarded shit on Tinder. I'll swipe right. If I don't find anybody, I'll just lay off the shit I say. No one is worth my time. I said what I said. I'm a fatty, but I got that cute face. Banging legs, though. I'll never love again. Bitch, like, if you're never gonna love again, why the fuck, right here at the bottom, if you can't handle that I'll be co-parenting with my ex and kick rocks, your boots clearly aren't made for walk. What, like, mental illness, bro. Mental fucking illness.
Your last rodeo, and you talked about your wife saying, hey, have another year. Mike McCarthy being here, obviously a big deal. Can you tell us about the mindset of coming into your last season? Like, that's a real thing, it feels like, because is everything better? Is everything funner? Is everything more awesome? Like, how do you kind of view this year versus maybe the years of the past?
I'm going to plead the fifth.
I'm going to use that all the time now. I'm plead the fifth. This is absolutely something everybody should be aware. Like Sneeko and Neon and Kai Cenat, all those top streamers that are making billions, millions, and have all your fucking attention because, like, real people like me were suppressed. But all these people are all up in the limelight. They're gay. Look at this. Look at what this Zena the Witch said.
Yeah, I fucked him in the ass. I fucked your cousin in the ass.
You fucked my cousin
yeah,
Sneeko in the
I
ass?
fucked Sneeko in the ass. How does that make you feel? I wore a strap on and I went behind him. I fucked him in the ass. Are you proud of that? You like this clip? Is this the clip you want?
I didn't know that.
Your cousin's a fucking faggot.
I did not know that.
Ah, dude. Yeah. Sneako's been looking fruity and gay and kind of went on that stupid tirade. I figured he was something happened. He's being MK Ultra and buck broken by his kick handlers. See, Neon and what's that dude? Sneeko, they're controlled by that kick dude. Whoever's at the top of the executives making giving them money. They must all be doing some gay shit. But that's another topic for another day.
So, of
Let's look at this. So this is Area
course,
51.
we drive over.
Area 51 is on fire. It's been on like something is on fire in Area 51. It's been on fire for a few days. Like that was a couple days ago, so probably like around August 1st, August 2nd.
To Tikabo Valley
maybe the
again to
31st.
take a closer look. Getting closer, we can see that pretty much the entire side of Bald Mountain is on fire.
Area 51 is on fire, but something strange is going on here. Now, wildfires certainly aren't something new. Immediately worried. Back in May, this same area was hit by strange earthquake swarms.
Well, in the span of 24 hours, there have been 17 earthquakes near Area 51. It started with a 4.4 magnitude quake just 2.5 miles underground. The area is normally not prone to earthquakes this shallow.
At the time, the legacy media said it was some kind of nuclear testing, but now some people believe it was a new kind of weapon. A weapon that might have been responsible for what we saw next.
Damn. So I actually didn't see those clips of Venezuela till now, but it's making me wonder: are we under attack, guys? Check this out. This is Spokane, Washington.
It's like, as of just after, you may have seen families right now showing up to their homes to find them completely destroyed after the Spokane area fires. I'll show you the cross streets right here, Skyline Drive and Crosby Court, and this entire cul-de-sac destroyed. Again, families just now showing up and discovering some of the damage. I want to show you, you can see where the natural gas line is still burning as it's emptying out some of its fuels. Over there, you can see water still running. You can see what this fire did to cars. And then again, you can see some of the people, many of whom live in this neighborhood, if not in some of these homes that were destroyed, now just discovering the damage. I got done speaking with a family a minute ago who says they actually had their grandkids out here yesterday when the level 3 evacuations happened. And they tell me as soon as those level 3s came in, they sent their family back home to the west side of the state. Well, when they got back here today, very raw in emotions, calling that family and showing them the status of their home.
There's literally nothing.
A very, very difficult morning.
It's strange, right? You see some trees in the background. You see things actually still standing. And people are like, well, there's water in the trees. There's water in the roots. To be honest, dogs, I'm going to be fucking completely real. Everything in the fucking house burnt down to the smithereens. Evaporated, incinerated. Whatever you want to say. There's no kitchen appliances. There's no bathroom appliances. There's no stones. Nothing's left. So if the house was hot enough to burn, then the trees should have been burned. But this is an ongoing thing. We're gonna go in a bit. So here's a longer clip.
Should pass a policy.
What they just did in Spokane, Washington will make you sick to your stomach.
So you guys should pass a policy that puts a ban on data centers in our county because we have real problems.
Oh, Jesus.
There are so many reasons why this fire reminds people of exactly what we saw in Lahaina, Maui, and Paradise. The speed at which this fire tore through the city left people with almost no time to evacuate. In some neighborhoods, police officers had to go door to door just to get people out.
Get him. Go save some people, folks. Oh, man. Dude. Ground zero. Look, we got homie right here asking someone to please get out. Hopefully they're out. That guy over there, too. Look at him. I'm sure they're out.
It's coming in so many different directions. We don't know how it started. No one's telling us.
A lot of people didn't even have time to move their expensive cars or get their pets out of the house.
I never thought I would have to make this video. Last night in the Old Trails fire in Spokane, Washington, I lost my house. And not only did I lose my house, I lost my truck. And in the back, I lost my Camaro. My house is completely leveled. My neighbor has a first responder in his family, so that's how I got this video. No one's allowed in my neighborhood, but it's all gone.
Yet people kept reporting that there were no firefighters on the scene even hours after the first homes started burning down.
Well, that's our house right there. It's about to go down in flames. That's this one right here? Yep. That's our neighbor Larry over there. It's on fire right now. That's Barb. Next to her is Charm. The one over from that is my childhood friend Sam. It's all on fire and there's not a single responder here. Brother.
It's almost like no one cared that 600 homes had just turned to ash, leaving 60,000 people homeless within hours. And to top it all off, the fire itself seemed very strange. A lot of the trees around the properties are fine. Street signs are untouched, but the cars in the driveways are completely melted, and the homes themselves have just vanished, turned into piles of ash.
I hear the train a coming. It's rolling around the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine. I don't know when.
And here's the thing, I personally saw the same thing when I visited Lahaina. What I've noticed as I'm walking around here, my feet are sticking to the ground. It's like a tacky surface. Homes gone, cars melted, but somehow buildings with blue paint and a lot of the trees were still standing.
All right, let's see if you can help answer this question. Why is everything completely turned into ash and dust?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. There needs to be rubble.
Except for this blue house. Which is still intact. And blue vehicles.
So you can understand why people are skeptical about the official story behind this tragedy. But then there's the real question. Who would benefit from this? Well, let me tell you something. A Spokane County commissioner was reportedly having secret discussions with a company to build a massive data center in the area. The company in question is Apricus Energy Solutions. It has no record of building anything before. Only 11 employees, but somehow they were ready to build a 1,000-watt data center in this area. When the plan came under fire, the commissioner claimed he didn't know about the company. But emails show he held secret Zoom calls with the CEO of Apricus, who was pushing for tax breaks for the project. Residents hated this plan, and just weeks before the town burned down, county commissioners were considering banning data centers altogether.
A temporary 9-month moratorium will give us the time to really understand the potential impacts of these facilities before they're built and make sure that responsible rules are in place first.
Now, with half the town gone, people think we might start seeing more than one data center in this area.
How convenient is it that now, in the same area that they were going to build the data center up north, there's a huge fire burning down? Do you know what eminent domain is? Eminent domain allows the state or the government to seize pieces of land and repurpose them for public use, but there are requirements that have to have been met in order for them to do this. Now, conveniently, if land is burnt and ravaged by a wildfire, private property, the government is then allowed to seize that land and use it to build data centers.
Yeah, seems like data centers are about to take over Spokane. And an Amazon package is, hold on, if this was extreme fire, why is that Amazon package still secure? Yeah, Washington State is really bad right now. So this is me, guys. Here, I'm gonna show you a map. So here I am, me little blue guy. I'm blue, da ba dee da, blue, da ba dee da. Yeah, look, man. You see all the red fires around me? That's me surrounded by fires in all directions. Horrible. And then this is just a little bit north of me. Well, East Wenatchee, Washington State has a current air quality index of 986. The worst United States has ever felt in an area. So, Washington State has some of the worst smoke and weather that has ever happened in the United States. This is Washington State, where you used to be able to see cities and trees and the mountains, but now all you see is mountains and smoke. And I'm not joking when I say we have not really seen the sky in over a month. Oh, here's Spokane. So the numbers, guys. I'm just gonna put the numbers. I'm gonna give the numbers to you guys. So there's been about 10 different cities that have had a fire over the last month or two. There's been at least 100,000 or more people displaced. There's been at least 800 homes destroyed and like thousands of structures like businesses and the like. It's not looking pretty out here, guys. It's not looking pretty. Looks like Washington State is under attack, and that there's some agenda. We know what's happening in Argentina right now, how Milei has literally sold out his country to Israel lobby, and created tax breaks for them, and allowed them to set fire to places they want to so they can get it later for cheaper. I think the same thing's happening here. We're gonna keep going forward. Oh, here's another one from Sari Williot. Thanks for sharing this picture. It's just up north from where I am. Smoke all throughout the skies. And you can blame these dudes, these Freemasons who are your doctors, dentists, judges, pretty much everything. There's a bombshell report coming out of Douglas McGregor, or being reported on by Douglas McGregor, how CBS suppressed documents revealing Bank of America, Deutsche Bank, and JP Morgan ignored evidence of crimes related to sex trafficking with Jeffrey Epstein to keep his money. Check this out.
And remember, kids, the next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh, yes, they would.
No credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
I always wonder how dumb this goyim sometimes can be. And they say, you killed our God.
They are legitimately, proactively protecting pedophiles.
They are protecting pedophiles at this point.
By redacting the abusers' names. The White House, listen up, everybody. The fucking White House is protecting pedophiles. You hear that? They're fucking protecting pedophiles.
Man, oh man. Hey, did you guys see this right here? So, this Epstein's Island is the same exact shape as Nickelodeon's logo. And then you look at the green slime and how that is, like, you know, in reference to what these kids are going through with some other slimes and all sorts of shit. Really strange, you know, really strange. There's definitely a lot of evidence to show that Donald Trump is a piece of shit too. Right here. So, Bank of America, JP Morgan, and Deutsche Bank all lobby and work in Israel. Next up, Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell from My Pillow is stepping down to campaign for his governor of Minnesota. And this is a big win. Governor Abbott from Texas ordered a full stop on new data center approvals and launched an audit after the grid got buried under a 474 gigawatt of requests, 5 times the state's record peak, and 90% of it from AI data centers. So they got hit with an overcharge of energy, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, this is more than we ever expected. But when you up for trouble, you're gonna get trouble. Like here, this video over half. So this is France, and this is parts of Europe that are experiencing fires after they brought in the data centers or allowed them in proposals.
There's no choice. US is going fast. China is going fast. Europe, Japan, Asia have to also go fast, not to be left out.
For us, it's a great achievement because you are a very respected partner, very well known, and we transform available energy in data centers and computing capacities for everybody in the world.
Is it just a coincidence that the same year politicians sign contracts for data centers, Europe gets swallowed by the worst wildfires in its history? Fires that are destroying entire towns, annihilating communities of people who were protesting this data center boom. The same people who might now be forced to sell their land to the very companies they didn't want there in the first place.
Nous, on va avoir un truc immonde à côté de chez nous. Vous ne tenez même pas en compte les écoles. Vous êtes là, tu peux faire du fric. Voilà. Excusez-moi.
Also, is it a coincidence that just as this data center boom is taking place, a very strange kind of heat wave has taken over Europe, one that is forcing people to buy millions of air conditioners all at once? And now politicians are saying they have to build more power plants because of this heat wave. It certainly has nothing to do with all the data centers they're building, all in countries that have already been dealing with drought for years.
Guys, it seems like, well, we're under attack. Just so you guys know, it's not independent journalists like me who are creating bullshit. It's more like these big time organizations and companies who are leveraging truth against you and fucking manipulating your idea of things. So here's one of the biggest editors in an interview. So this guy was one of the biggest editors in the world for some time.
He was an editor of one of the biggest newspapers in Germany for close to 20 years, somewhere, give or take a couple of years. And he came out publicly.
When about?
He died, I think, about 5 or 6, 7 years ago, maybe 8, 10. It's hard to remember.
Modern times.
Modern times. But he'd been the senior editor or one of the senior editors for close to 20 years. Okay. Mainstream, big paper, comes out and says that all the media around the world, the major media, is controlled by the intelligence agencies. Okay. And he said he was the person who received the article from the CIA that said Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. And he took it and he published it. And of course, it was around the world in 24 hours. And he realized, oh my gosh, like what I've done and what's happening. And that sparked an awakening in him. But he basically came out and he said that the intelligence agencies have assets installed, have operatives installed in every media outlet, but that also that they're doing the bidding of the billionaires. And so he basically came out. He was like, listen, that's who runs the show. We are being paid by intelligence, by billionaires, and by corporations to publish information that manipulates the public into a certain perspective. And so I think when you take all that together, you can see, is it all one monolith? I don't think so. I think it's various factions, some coordinating, some not coordinating. I've heard firsthand that from people who were told that COVID wasn't about a disease, it was about an opportunity to restructure society. So this is, I think that it's much more premeditated than any of us would like to acknowledge. And can we put our finger on it? Can we say it's that person or it's that group? No, but there's definitely some kind of a coordination happening. Just look at all the
So to match with this coordination that she's talking about, if you remember in the Epstein files, there was actually some documents on how Epstein was using his money and his sway and his political gains, his power to talk to multiple newspaper agencies and like outlets to control the narrative, to make people seem less credible. And there's two separate instances. One where he's talking to TMZ and Mark Levin, and he's like, if you could help me, undermine like society and keep it like from raising up and pretty much like promote the bad shit. Then Epstein has another file with I forgot what magazine exactly, but it's some reporter, journalist, where Epstein's telling him, look at all these people into consciousness and UFOs and aliens. You please make them seem discredited and seem crazy and dumb, and so nobody could look smart with the truth. And so he was trying to cover up and manipulate that. And that's kind of happening all over the place, where certain news agencies will try to send someone to muddy the waters and get people discredited. Doesn't work anymore. We're going to finish up tonight with Paris Hilton going through a mental health crisis. Paris Hilton, the media star or whatever, he had a very dark TikTok where he was appearing bloody and saying some wicked shit. Literally, like he was cutting himself on air. And well, now he's been taken into the ambulance and put into like psychiatric care or critical or some type of care unit.
Breaking news that we brought to you at the top of our newscast. A person was being seen taken into an ambulance moments ago.
So a mental health unit probably.
Outside of a home in southwest Miami-Dade. A sheriff's office says that a man was inside the home live streaming acts of self-harm on social media. A couple of neighbors are telling us that the man inside the home is celebrity entertainment blogger Perez Hilton, but the sheriff's office has not confirmed that with us tonight. We will bring you any updates on this.
Yeah, all right. Well, the live video shows it was him, and Paris Hilton is probably going through some crazy shit. People are saying that, well, that's what happens when you make a deal with the devil and deal with Hollywood and you try to get out. And yeah, it's probably true. Well, guys, that was a good hour, and please pray for Spokane. There's going to be a lot more. I'm uncovering. I hope you guys have had a wonderful night. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. If you guys could, please donate. I'm self-made, self-funded. I do have affiliates and coupons that a small percentage of every purchase does go back into my pockets. But if you guys would like to donate directly to my funds, please donate to 509 Divine Pines, Cash App, PayPal, or buy me a coffee. I will shout you out, and I'll give you an appreciation. Eventually, I'm going to be able to give gifts and things out that are going to be, like a commemorative. So I appreciate you guys being here. Philadelphia all the way, baby. Fight till I die. Sixers are gonna go and win the chip this year. I love you guys. Please be safe, be blessed, be high. See you guys next time on the 509 Divine Pines podcast. Peace.
Meditating, analyzing everything I see, so I see new horizons. Took the acid, feeling blasted in my brain, so I've been sitting up inside it, thinking about the present and the future. I'm improving cause I am a trooper, never getting caught up in the loop. Got up out it cause I found the truth. Woke up to a beauty of the day, the sun is shining, so I'm finna stay. Sitting, soaking up all of the rays, till I feel it surging through my brain like some burger sugar. Did a lot of cane, experimented with it, couldn't name all the times I did it, feeling like a fade. Yeah, I'm really glad that I let it go, cause I gotta be prepped for the time when the plane ride is a new norm. So I know I'm gonna stay high, blaze on the ganja, feeling like I make my music go to another level while I take off. I can't ever stop this, fell in love with it, fit like a glove, so I'm never ever done with it. So now I'm about to rip another beat, ayy. One day I'll make $1 million in a week, yeah, shooting for the top spot. Feel like I'm a hot shot, like I really got a chance with it. I will not flop, somebody gonna make it dance when I pop off. Gonna have all the bitches taking all the tops off. I've been feeling like I'm really gonna kill it for the rest of my life, so I've been staying focused. In my soul, I've been feeling like $1 million, so I know that everything is really getting closer. Yeah, no posers, only been hanging with the ones I've chosen. Only all the people that are living in the right way, cause they spending every day growing. Yeah, no whole shit coming in my life and then leaving in a moment. That's the shit I'll never let into my life again, cause lately I've been feeling like I'm golden. Never showboat, I just showcase on my music that I made this far. Always knew that I could be the one that would get this far. Now I'm right here looking in my mirror, trying to figure out if there's any more fear, cause I'm getting rid of it all, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting rid of it all. Meditating, analyzing everything I see, so I see new horizons. Took the acid, feeling blasted in my brain, so I've been sitting up inside it, thinking about the present and the future. I'm improving cause I am a trooper, never getting caught.